Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is Jean at Kept in Stitches, ready for our live stitch and chat. How is everyone? Hello, Mona. Welcome. I'm hoping that the volume is down on my phone and that it's not going to come on all of a sudden. Checking to make sure on that. But it looks like everything is okay. So we will just wait. I'm a little bit early. I wanted to make sure everything was ready and working correctly. So we will wait for a few of you to pop on here. Hello, Melody. And Mona again. Thank you for letting me know that it sounds good. Does it look good? Oh, hello, Susan. Welcome. So today, and I think if you read in the description, is not a quilting day. It is a day to show. I showed that I was going to show how to start to prepare the pillowcase for the crochet edging today during my live. So I'm not sure just how well that is going to show up on here, but I will do my best, and I will have a demonstration video that is a better one at a later time for this also, that we can show it better. So Melody, Susan, hello, Polly, welcome, welcome. Hello, Karen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is everyone working on today? Are you busy? Might know every day at this time there is a notification that comes up on my laptop, and I just sorry about that. But I don't know why I'm acting like I'm pressing out my pillowcase here, and it's already pressed and ready to go. So I don't know why I'm doing that. But I'm going to give it just a few minutes, since it's still not quite 3 o'clock yet here, to wait for those that may be coming on, because they knew I was going to be showing how to do this today. Give them a chance to pop on before I actually get started. So Susan is working on her tiger from Violet Crafts and really enjoying it. Yeah, I saw you. Were you? I don't think it was you. You hadn't started on that yet when I was watching. I think that was Donna and Tucker that I saw working on theirs the other night. Hello, Shirley. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I like that pink waving hand. Hello, Beverly. Thank you for popping on over. So, if you are going to be trying to do this along with me today, I will remind you that you need your Mark Be Gone pencil, and you will need a little ruler, and you will need your wool darning needle and your yarn. So that is all that you, and of course your pillowcase. Will be a little hard to do that. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Thank you for popping over. So I will be demonstrating how to start your to mark for your pillowcase, and to start the blanket stitch, which is the foundation for doing the rest of the stitches in, for doing a crochet edging around the pillowcase, which, for those that you who may not have seen, we'll do it that way, but that is the crochet edging on the pillowcase. And there have been several that have been interested in finding out how to do that technique. So that is what I'm going to be working on today on the other one, so I can show a little bit of that. It won't be a real close-up one. Like I said, I'll do a better demonstration video on that at a later date. Don't think I'm, hello, Christine, welcome. So I don't think I have missed anybody that's coming on in the chat. I'll try to keep my eye on there. While you are on, Beverly, feel free to drop anybody's links that have channels on here if you want to. no problem doing that. I know you can't be here the whole time. So if you are wanting to do that, you are more than welcome to go ahead and drop some links. Hello, Patty G. Very pretty pillowcase. So dainty. Oh, thank you. It actually matches a quilt that I made for our master bedroom. So that is why I just happen to have them. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. Thanks for popping on. So that is why I happen to have the pretty pillowcases, because I made pillowcases to match for that quilt. And I also made a cute little neck throw pillow out of the scraps. And I have a lot of fabric that I even had enough fabric. I made a bed skirt to match too. So everything goes together right now. And that's the quilt that is actually on my bed right now too. So hello, Sandra. Hello, Tracy. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for popping on. And what the very first thing that I'm going to show you how to do is that's what our blue Mark Be Gone pen is for, is we are going to mark little dots on the inside of the pillowcase. I started some just so I wouldn't have to do the whole thing while I was on the live here. But you want to start where the seam is in your pillowcase, because you can hide your knot behind there better. So that's where we'll be starting. And I already started. And what you're going to do is, do I have pets, Mona? I have, we did have 3 Yorkies. We have lost 2 of them. We are down to 1. So we do have 1 Yorkie left. She should, if I move, you can see just her little ear sticking up. She's in the doggy bed here behind me. I got her a new dog bed, and it's like a little donut, and she just whoops right into it. She loves it. But yes, I do have pets, and yes, she does sleep on our bed. In fact, right now she has a bed just like that one that sits on our bed that she gets into, and she sleeps on that in the bed. She's allowed on all the furniture. She's a diva. She has free run of the house. She's our baby, part of the family. How do I keep her from tearing up our bed? None of our dogs have ever torn up our bed. They're I don't know, they're little dogs to begin with. So I don't know. Nope. She's just has never torn up the bed. They don't even, they don't get under the covers even. They lay on top of the covers. So we've never had a problem with that. Never had a problem with that. But what I am I know your goober is a digger. I saw that. Now they will, if they're on a chair, they will dig on the chair, like what they're trying to rearrange in the chair. There's nothing there. I don't know, but getting that spot just right. And I always call it, it looks like they're trying to dig a hole to China, and they're never going to get there. So I don't appreciate them doing that, to where we put on some that I'm afraid they might damage. We might, put a little throw on there when they're on there, so they won't damage the chair. But nope, they don't tear up the bed. So, but what I'm going to start off with doing on this, Lori Clark says hello. She just subscribed. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. I didn't see you pop on. He puts holes in it. Oh, no. Hi, June. Welcome. No, I would not like that. Now, when ours were first puppies and we got them and they were teething, they didn't do anything to the bedding or anything, but some of the wooden legs on the coffee tables or whatever, they put a few marks on that. But no, we've been really lucky that way. Getting back to the pillowcase, the first thing that I'm going to be doing while I'm talking here is you're going to lay your ruler so it's a 1/2 inch down from the edge, because we're going to be making the dots for the blanket stitch every 1/2 inch. And you always, when you're doing a blanket stitch, you want the length to be the same as the width of your stitch. So I'm marking down a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to mark every 1/2 inch with just a little dot with this Mark Be Gone eraser. Pen, it's not an eraser. They will erase on their own the first time we wash it, so no problem there. But I'm going to get over to this other half of the pillowcase, since I already did half of it. And this does make for a really really nice looking pillowcase when you have the edging on it. And like I said in my week in review video, I use cotton yarn. It's a lightweight cotton yarn. And by using the cotton yarn, you don't have to double it if you were using a thinner, like a one of the crochet threads or whatever, that would be thin and you would have to double that. And when you see what we have to do to get the length of the yarn, if you don't have to double it, you don't want to double it, because you have to cut a very, very long length of yarn, because, well, you just don't want to be tying any knots in between, because they would show on the inside, and that wouldn't be any fun, seeing your knots on the inside. So by using one long length of yarn, you will eliminate having to do that. May make it a little more tedious in the beginning until you use up some of that length of yarn, but it makes for a much prettier finish in the long run. So I'm just going along here using my little ruler right now and marking every 1/2 inch with a little dot, 1/2 inch down from the edge of my pillowcase. So I could move over here a little bit farther. And this part goes rather fast, so, which I'm almost back over to my beginning seam. I'm also going to be showing a pattern for a pillowcase that uses a flap on the inside, so you do not see your pillow inside the pillowcase. Okay, I've got that marked all the way around. Hello, Pamela. Welcome, welcome. Sarah's Quilting Journey. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. So now I have, and I don't think that those little blue marks, yeah, you can see them, but I've got little blue dots now with the mark be gone, 1/2 inch apart and 1/2 inch down on all of them. So the next thing that you are going to do, and I have already done because I didn't want to have to do that, is you're going to take your pillowcase, and if you are using the cotton yarn like I am, you don't have to do as many because you don't have to double it. If you're using a thinner yarn, you're going to have to double it. So just keep in mind, you're going to have to do twice the amount of what I am going to show you. Now you are going to take your yarn, we'll move over here, and you are going to take and start and keep going the width of that pillowcase 8 times. And that will give you the length of yarn, which I've already done mine, but you will do that 8 times. I actually do it about 8.5, whatever, just to be sure. It's like, don't want to run out. And you end up with this really long length of yarn. And then, of course, you're going to tie a knot in the end of it. Thank you for dropping the link, Beverly. Thank you very much. So we are going to start right at that seam where we mark that, because as we go in here with that first stitch, and I didn't bring mine, you're going to, if you kind of go back and forth with that needle on that first one, it helps, but you're going to stick that all the way through, and you are going to have to pull and pull and pull and pull. And you don't want to go too fast because you'll end up knotting up your yarn, and you don't want that to happen. But you're going to pull all the way until you get to the end. And that knot then is going to be pretty much hidden by where your seam comes together there. And the way that you do a blanket stitch is you hold that little end up there, and now we are going to go on the inside again and poke through that hole that we made. And you're holding that up, so you're going in between the yarn, and you will have to yank pretty good at that to get that needle through. And we're just pulling until we get to the end again. And you're going to have a funny first stitch. You will finish and stitch into that one where you started when you get all the way back around. So don't worry about how that looks. Just don't pull it. Just don't pull it too tight so that you have enough to do that when you get all the way back. See, it's going to look funny right here because right now there's nothing holding it there. But when you come around to here, you'll stitch into that to end, and then that will hold that first stitch. But I'm going to try and turn a little here so you can see. Then you're always kind of holding that thread with your finger and holding it up. And now we're ready to go into that next hole here so that your yarn is behind your needle. And you'll see the stitch this time because it'll be the second one. So you're just going to keep pulling that. And it's nice because as you get around, your yarn will get shorter and you won't have to pull so much. And you're just going to come up and get that a little bit of a tug, making sure that you leave that. And you can see how that's forming the blanket stitch there. And this is going to be the foundation that we do our other stitches in to make our edging. Thank you. I'm so glad that you dropped those for me, Beverly. I really appreciate that more than you know. I have to admit that I did download Streamlabs the other day, but I couldn't even get back I couldn't get through the very first initial setup stage and understand what was going on and what to do. In fact, when it said it was checking the stream thing or whatever, it never quit going around and around and around and around and around and around and around. So I just shut it off and thought, okay, I'll come back to this sometime when I'm more in the mind frame for trying to mess with it again. When it comes to tech stuff, I know just enough to get by or just enough to get in trouble. So see in there, I pulled a little fast, and that's where you will, once in a while, you just got to check and make sure that you don't get that knot in your yarn. And I don't know if you can see, but we're starting to head. And like I said, this one's going to look weird until you get all the way around to where you can fasten that down with your last stitch. But we're getting all our, and it's amazing which this is, nice fabric, so it is soft and pliable. It's not one with a whole wrapped around the sewing machine up there. It's not a stiff fabric. It's a really nice fabric. It's an expensive quilt shop fabric, so it's not that hard to get the needle through it, which is nice. If you were having a problem or whatever, just put a thimble on and do it. And I have thought if it was, thicker fabric, you could go and you could actually poke each one of your holes individually before doing this step, and then it would be easier to bring your needle through too. But I'm finding that I'm not having a problem. I'm pulling the wrong. All of a sudden, I think I was pulling the wrong one there. That's easy to do once in a while. It's like grab the wrong one when it falls down behind. But I know, I think if color is not distorted, I have that fabric we used to decorate my granddaughter's tea for 2 birthday parties. So very feminine and pretty. Yes, I could see it there. Oh, I got this several years ago at a quilt show, and I actually had to send to her shop and get a bunch more yardage of it when I got it, and I was afraid I was going to run out because the quilt pattern that I got from her, I wanted to make it bigger, so we didn't know exactly how much fabric I was going to need extra. So I just went on her website then and ordered almost everything that she had left in the fabric line at the time. So I do have left over. I could get up if it was closer and more accessible. I'd get up and check that for you, but I can let you know, Brenda, because you are in the Facebook group, so I can check that and let you know later what the actual name of the fabric line is. I don't think it looks from my end, it doesn't look it's distorted in the color, so it looks like it's reading pretty true to me. Accepted to what? I was accepted to Wahoo. I have no idea what Wahoo is, Lori. You'll have to explain that to us. Oh, I was accepted. Wahoo. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, what is Wahoo? Okay, thank you. I just subscribed. I gotcha. Sometimes when we're reading, it's like, okay, the simplest thing can mean something, you're going like, what? Oh, that was funny. That was funny. Now am I pulling? Got mixed up on one I'm pulling now. Look up. We're pulling this one. That's funny. LOL, wahoo. Your granddaughter will be 8, so 6 years ago. Ooh, I'm trying to think. This may have been longer than 6 years. I'm not sure. I know where the quilt show was, but I can't remember when. It was actually, see, now we've got it tangled down here. I don't know which way to pull it. Did exactly what I told you not to do, see? I think I did that when I was trying to figure out which way I was pulling. But we will get to it and figure out where it is and get it out when I get closer, I guess. Sorry, blame that on me. No, that's all right, Lori. No problem. I figured it out. It just took me a while. And now we're going to figure out how to get this out of there. I can't figure out where there isn't an end, but which one I want to pull when here. We got a little tangle. There, got it. Because I'm not keeping my eyes on what I'm doing. One of those what do they say? Can't chew gum and run at the same time, or whatever they say. Hello to everyone joining. Have I missed anyone? I don't think so. Lori or Nightbot. Well, I think StreamYard's even more difficult than Streamlabs, so I don't know. I think I will stay a simple girl like I have always been, or a simple old lady that I am now, and just stick to old school. That way I don't have any problems. And if my son were here, he could get everything set up for me in no time whatsoever. He'd have me so high tech, I wouldn't know what to do. But when it comes to that kind of stuff and everything, I just, nope, it's not me. So we shall see. What's Polly? What are you laughing at, Polly? Something earlier on. Okay, I'm back. Oh, well, it brings you back. See, I don't even realize I scrolled up in the thing and it brought me right back down to where I was without me even touching it. So haven't done that before. StreamYard, you don't download, you sign in on there. Well, that would even confuse me more if I had to be more than one place at once. Oh. That's funny. The only thing that I find helpful is my tablet. When I get ready, which I use my tablet when I am doing my recorded ones. I go live on my laptop, but on my tablet, I can get everything ready and be standing there ready to go. And all I have to do is hold my hand up at the camera and it will start the video. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to be able to do that to get it stopped. So I still have to go walk up and hit the button to stop it yet. But, oh, but yeah, I could just see me trying to sign in at 2 different places. Oh. But this blanket stitch is the, like I said, the foundation that all the other stitches are going to go into for the edging. So once that you get, it's going slow because the yarn's so long right now. Once you get to where it's not quite so long, it goes a little faster to be able to do these. But once you get all the blanket stitching down, then those of you that know how to crochet, all you have to do is, for the rest of the foundation, is you go into each one of those and you're going to do 3 single crochets in each one of the blanket stitches all the way around. And that is the first part. Then you can basically really do almost any pattern that you want for an edging. But I will be sharing in a later video the pattern that I used for the edging. Okay. That's funny. As I just have totally, I was pulling what I just pulled out instead of in. And somehow say it helps to concentrate on what you're doing. Every time I look up, I seem to pull the wrong one. Okay. Thank you. Miss Beverly. If any of you want to, that are content creators, and Beverly hasn't dropped your link because she doesn't know or for sure, if you just want to put a heart behind your name so she can find it quickly that way? That would help her. And if you haven't been to any of the channels that are links are being dropped and are on here, be sure and go and check them out. Check and see what they're doing. Subscribe to them if you like them. And be sure, if you haven't, I can't see, so oops. Don't forget the thumbs up would be appreciated. And a lot of the things that you also see me do on here are things that are a part of my Facebook group. So if you aren't a member of my Facebook group and want to follow along that way with the projects and everything that we do, that link is always in the description box, and it's also on the banner of my YouTube channel. All you have to do is click on it. But it's always in the description box, which the name of my Facebook group is Friends of Captain Stitches Quilting Stitching Bee. I don't like short names for some reason, I guess. I always make them long. There you go. G&B, it's so nice to be able to sit here with you in my sewing room and sew. I know, isn't that's the ones like Kathy's, which Quilts and Crafts that I'll be hopping back onto over. It's like, it's so nice to have these people that go live and everything, have them on and keep you company in your sewing room. I tend to get a lot more done that way because it's just like you're got somebody else in there with you to visit with while you're sewing or doing whatever you do. Of course, sometimes I get my back turned doing something, and that's about the time somebody will decide to hold something up and show it, and I'm going, oh man, now I missed that. It's like, hold it up again. My back was turned. I was at the pressing station or the cutting station instead. But yeah, it's a great way to have somebody in your sewing room with you when you're working on things, or when you just need a break and want to sit and watch everything going on the screen. I'll be glad when this gets a little shorter. It's like, what are you guys doing to me? I'm getting tangled, and now I'll probably pull the wrong one again because I will forget which one I was pulling. Okay. Should be the one from behind. And we've got yarn caught in there. Sorry for getting quiet every once in a while in between here. Hello, Eva. Or I guess it would be Eva. Eva Opal. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Working on the foundation portion for doing a crochet edging on a pillowcase is what I am working on today while I sit and chat with you all. I've been having fun. Well, some of it is fun, some of it is not so fun because design software can be challenging at times too, but I am designing a Ohio Star quilt for myself that I'm wanting to use 3-inch, 6-inch, 9-inch, and 12-inch blocks in. all in red and white fabrics, scrappy. It'll be scrappy red and white, a little beige thrown in. And I want them to appear like they are floating across the background. So I've been working on that the last couple days, and some of the spare moments that I have. I don't know that I have any spare moments, but been working on that because I would like to get started on that to where I can at least work on it a little bit each week in between all the other projects that I need to be working on. How far apart do you put your stitches? They are marked every ½ inch. So you're going a ½ inch down from the edge of your pillowcase, and then we marked with the blue Mark Be Gone a little dot every ½ inch so that the stitches are uniform, because they're a ½ inch apart and a ½ inch long, and that's how you like to keep your blanket stitch. So thank you for asking, Eva. I hope that helped. But that was the part that I did first, and you want to start marking at the seam of your pillowcase and go all the way around and end at the seam, because that way you can hide both your knots right there at that seam and it doesn't show as much. And whatever the width of your pillowcase is, if you're using the cotton lightweight yarn that I am, which I'm using, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. I just happen to have a lot of that yarn in my stash, but it's a good yarn for this. Washable, it's sturdy, it'll hold up to the washing. You only have to use one strand of yarn. If you are using a lighter weight yarn than that, you'll have to double it. So if you are using this, you need to pull your yarn to a length that is at least 8 times the width of your pillowcase. I do about 8.5, 9, just to make sure. If you are going to have to double your yarn because you're using a thinner yarn, then you will have to double that measurement. So you'll need about 17 times the width of your pillowcase, and then you will double that and knot it to start with that. I'm embroidering a label for a memory quilt. Okay. That was Sarah that is doing that. Are you embroidering it by hand or by machine? If it's a memory quilt, I bet you're doing it by hand, would be my guess. The sound of this is something else. There's cotton running through cotton here. You do have to be a little careful because you're pulling it so many times through that you can get a little worn spot in your yarn if you're not careful also. That's what I figured, Sarah, that you would be doing it by hand. I love all handwork. Which my embroidery would have to be by hand because I do not have an embroidery machine. So all my embroidery is by hand. We're making progress, slowly but surely. So yeah, I have the Ohio Star that I'm designing. I'm working on the Long Time Gone, still by Jen Kingwell. Working on, as the So Long in the group, the tabletop turnabouts, doing our first one. That book is by Jan Paddock, which I love her primitive style, but that's needle turn applique. Is that, of course, if you want to change the pattern, and you don't like needle turn applique, you can do it with machine applique. You just have to adjust your pattern for that. Trying to think. There's so many projects I have going that I can't remember them all. Right now, G&B is hand quilting a king-size quilt. It's taking forever. Oh, yes, I know. I've got a king-size quilt on my hand quilting frame, which my hand quilting frame is in the house. I can't fit a long arm and a hand quilting frame both out here. So my hand quilting frame is in the house. That has a king-size quilt on it, which is actually my husband's retirement quilt, which is a signature quilt that I'm hand quilting. And I have several other hand quilting projects that I do in a lap hoop on my lap. And Mama Harden says, I am embroidering my butterfly handkerchiefs by hand. I don't have a machine either. Okay. Which that is very, very therapeutic and relaxing work to be able to do by hand. I have some old heirloom handkerchiefs that I use and incorporate into my slow stitching projects. I'm getting ready because I saw a really cute pincushion made out of one. So I'm going to do that also, because I don't know why, but I don't think you can ever have too many pincushions, and you can never have too many needle books. So when I see a pattern I like, it's like I'm always making those. And they're cute to have too, to be able to give to other quilting sewing friends as gifts. Even some people that don't do it like them as decoration. So I wish you could hear my dog right now. She's over at the door wanting out. And she does this little whine, but she chatters her teeth together like, when you're cold and your teeth start chattering. She does that somehow with her mouth, and it just sounds so funny. The first time, she's only just started doing that. The first time she did that, I thought, what in the world is that noise? And she's chattering her teeth together. Hopefully, if I ignore her long enough, she'll come back and lay down. She did that last night when I was on the long arm. It was like, no, I'm not stopping in the middle of this to let you out. So she gave up and went and laid back down. But of course, if she has to go potty, that's not a good thing. Oh. But we'll see. She will either give up and go and lay back down, or she'll get mad and start barking. We shall find out here shortly. She's still over there whining. Everyone's turned quiet. Eva says, I'm working on 4 different projects right now. A quilt, crocheting an Afghan, embroidering Disney quilt squares, and a cross-stitch picture. I get bored easy, so I switch it up. I do the same thing, Eva, and I have a lot more going than 4. But yeah, I just jump from one to another. Some days I sit here and I can't decide which one. So I sit too long without working on anything, because I have a hard time deciding which project I want to work on. Mona says she has to go. See you next time. Thank you, Mona. See you later. Thanks very much for popping on. Which this is Monday. I had to think what day it is. I tell you. Does anybody else get up in the morning and they can know what day it is? And before noon, they're already thinking it's a different day? It's like, oh, I have such a hard time remembering what day it actually is. My husband and I both, neither one of us can remember what day it is. We're always having to ask each other, what day is it? Of course, we could look right on our phone, or I could look on my watch and see what day it is, but we don't think of that. It's like, what day is it? Tell me. You don't anymore since you're retired. Well, we're both retired, and I think that's why we never know what day it is. It's like, okay, because we don't have to worry about what day it is. So yeah. I gotta tell you though, between YouTube and Facebook and the long arm and everything, I think I work more and harder now than I did when I had a regular job. I know I spend a lot more hours because I average a 14-hour day out here. So that's with a few breaks going in and checking on my husband, and we only eat one meal. Other than breakfast, we only eat one meal a day. We don't eat two meals. So I have to go in and fix something. Usually for him to eat. I'm not hungry, but yeah, I average close to almost every day 14 hours out here. Eva says, I have to ask my husband what day it is. I'm retired, so I really don't worry about it unless we have an appointment. Yeah. If I have an appointment, my phone's usually, okay, now we're pulling the wrong one again. My phone usually notifies me of that, so that I don't have a problem with. And Mama Harden says, these are for cancer patients. My local gospel radio station does this all year round. Any butterflies that you can make, mostly things that can be in a greeting card. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Lori Clark, I work from home for a few clients in bookkeeping, but never get 14 hours in my craft room. I know, I'm very blessed to be able to do that, I must say. And it's not, when I say, 14 hours, it's 14 hours because I love what I do and I love being out here. And it is a very, 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 very peaceful stitching cottage. It is quiet, very quiet for the most part. It's quieter out here than it is in our house. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's in the backyard, but we live on a corner, so we have a street, going down this side and the front. But the neighbor behind us, every once in a while, it can get a little noisy. He has a tendency to work on lawnmowers and some vehicles back there. And one day, I about jumped and hit the ceiling, which this has very, very high ceilings. But I about hit the ceiling because he was working on lawnmower, and I didn't know because he hadn't started. The minute he started it up, it backfired, and it sounded like a shotgun going off right through the back wall of the cottage. It scared the crap out of me. So Mary Courtney says, I'm so happy to hear that I'm not the only one with multiple projects going. Oh, I'm sure you are not. And I wouldn't be embarrassed, but I would hate to have to say just how many projects I actually have going at once. But it was really easy when I went to the one-stop shop hop the other day. There were many, many, many things that I would have loved to have. And especially, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the tilde fabrics and the one tilde pattern of the woman that has been popular for a while, but I keep seeing that pattern and I want to do it so much. And they had the pattern and the fabric kit for it. And I really wanted it. But I talked myself out of it because I said, no, I have way too many things to do. I don't have room to put anything else. I need to finish what I have before I can allow myself to. I mean, if it had been something small, I might have, gone ahead. Am I pulling the wrong way again? I might have gone ahead with it, but something big like that, I just couldn't. I could not justify spending that much money for. I think I'm pulling the wrong way again. Somehow I got off on what I'm doing the wrong way. Yep. Nothing like, okay, working on something and go all the way through and then pull it back out. Pup is not so demanding now, but it's soon garden time and that consumes me. I lose all free time to outside chores. And if you, yes, I understand that too. I have flower beds and just a real tiny little garden space that I do. And it's getting to that time of year. Unfortunately, I don't know yet if I'm going to be able to do it anymore because I had both hips replaced part, the last one 7 months ago, and severe with the last one, and I have no feeling in my right foot. And I can't bend over as much because I also have both knees replaced, both hips replaced, and I have a very bad back. So I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do the flower beds in the garden this year or not. Does it stress you out to have lots of projects going? No, it does not stress me out. That's one thing it does not do. There are times I may feel just a little bit overwhelmed, like like I say, when I can't decide which one to work on, or some that may have, a time frame or time limit on, or something that I need to be at a certain point because it's something that I'm not just doing by myself. But no, the only thing that stresses me out on anything that I do sewing is my long arm can stress me out when it decides it doesn't want to play nice, or when it starts having tension problems and that type of thing. Or yeah, that's the only thing I do that I would say can stress me out. And then before I get to a really bad point, I just like I showed, I put it in timeout and I just walk away. I said, that's it. Okay, we're just going to walk away for a while. We'll go back when things have calmed down and we're ready, and maybe it will be ready to play nice again. Oh, thank you, Beverly. Yeah, I am a disabled veteran, by the way, and I've had a lot of medical issues for several years, and I do not let them get me down. I'm one that no matter what the problem is, I figure out a way to cope with it, and I go on and I do what I have to do, figure out a way to do it, and keep on doing. I don't let things get me down, and I don't sit around doing nothing because of it. Figure out how to keep doing what I want to do. Yeah, at some point, I mean, with arthritis and psoriatic arthritis and osteoporosis and all that, there may come a point in time when I can't do the hand stitching that I like to do anymore, and that will make me very, very sad. I don't know what I will do when I can't do hand stitching anymore, because that basically is my life. But yeah, I handle and and cope with my disabilities very well. A lot of people that know me would not have any idea a lot of the things that are wrong with me because I just don't show it. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate that. Eva says, my projects don't stress me out, but I inherited a lot of crochet projects from my mother. They stressed me trying to figure out what she was doing and what size crochet hook she used. Yes, 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 which I will throw in for those of you, since we are doing something that is going to be crochet. I used to, set aside a crochet project and then I'd go, okay, what hook was I using, on this and everything. So now I have made out of cardboard little stickers that have, the most common that I use, probably, F through K or L, because I do use some big ones. And instead of leaving the hook with it when I put it down, I have a hole in them and I just safety pin that little label to it. So when I pick it up, I will know what size crochet hook I was using on that project. And so that's one way not to have that problem at least stress you out. And also, I was having, multiple crochet hooks too, because I would leave the crochet hook with the project and then you're going on to do another one. And it's like, okay, you can't find a crochet hook because what project did you leave it in? We are getting close. I thought, I still have a long way to go on this. Mary says she loves my positive attitude. Keep on keeping on. Yep. It's like, what else you gonna do? I wanna live life. So sometimes I may not make the best choices on some of the things I shouldn't be doing and do anyway, but it's all right. Wasn't a good day when I fell off the ladder, but now we know to remember not to go down with the foot that you can't feel, go down with the one you can feel. That's a good idea. I'm stealing it. You don't have to steal it. You can just have that idea. I gave it to you. Gave it to you freely, Eva. I like to share any tips that can be of help. I like to share them with others. I know the feeling of a lot of things, and it's like I teach a lot of others to quilt and everything, and when I'm doing stuff, I will tell them something. I'll say, now you don't want to do this, and my saying is always, ask me how I know. It's like, I've made that mistake. I will warn you what to do instead, so you don't do the same thing. Okay. As we start pulling the wrong one again. Every time I stop to take a knot out, I pull the wrong end again. Oh, poor little dog's over there whining again. Usually I let her out before I go live, but she was sound asleep, so I didn't want to wake her up. Boy, seems like I should be farther than that. But I am going to set this down because we only have about 5 minutes left. So Brenda says, I had a cousin ask if I could crochet the top of baby little girl socks. Her mom did it for her. I couldn't help but thinking this is the same concept. Yes, it is the very same concept, except you would probably be using for socks, you'd be using the crochet thread instead of yarn. Would be the only difference in a lot smaller hook, but it is very much, Brenda, the same concept. And yeah, once you have that foundation down to be able to add the other stitches into, then you're off and running. If you already know how to crochet. If you don't know how to crochet, of course there's going to be a little learning to that, but there are so many good YouTube videos out on crochet stitches and embroidery stitches and everything anymore that anyone can sit in the comfort of their home and learn to do that. I have in the past. I have also taught crochet, so that's one of the things. But okay, Sarah's quilting journey. Thank you for dropping hers. Yes, love Sarah's Quilting Journey. It's a nice channel also to watch. She has good stuff going on there. So, as is everyone's on here. I don't think there's any on, well, there shouldn't be any on here that I'm not following unless it's somebody brand new that I'm not aware of at all. But yeah, most of you I go over and I enjoy watching all of your videos and everything. You can always learn a lot. I Can Crochet was taught at age 12, about the same as me, Brenda. I believe it was right around then, probably about more like 9 or 10, but that's about the age I was when I learned to crochet also. And I first learned left-handed because I was actually born left-handed. When I started school was back when they had the little arm desks, and there were 3 of us that were left-handed, and they only had 2 of the desks that were left-handed. So I was the one that got switched. So I've been pretty much ambidextrous all my life, but some things just still seem to I bat left-handed, for one thing. If I was a golfer, I'm sure I would golf left-handed. But crocheting, I wasn't getting the hang of it. And I thought, well, maybe it's something I need to do left-handed. So I tried that for a while, but then realized very quickly that no, I was right-handed. I just needed my little neighbor that was a little Mennonite woman next door. She got me on the right track when I was having a problem with that. So I give her credit for that. Thanks for a great live and keeping me company while I worked. You're very welcome, Sarah. Thank you for popping over. And I think there's one of yours I didn't get to finish watching, so I'll be going over and finishing that too. I have it in the queue to finish. So, but anyhow, I want to say thank you to everyone. Polly says she learned from a lefty, simply married what she mirrored, what she did. I was about 5 years old and been crocheting ever since. Yes. Yeah. When I would teach crocheting, what I would actually do is I would get behind them. It was women, thankfully, and I would let them know, but I would get behind them and I would bring my arms around to the front so they could watch exactly from the right angle what I was doing. And it was easy to teach them that way. So, but thank you, everyone. I appreciate you popping on with me today and chatting while I stitched on the pillowcase to give some of those the idea that could tell by this. Like I said, I will be doing a better close-up video of that at some point in time, but so that you could get those that are going to be doing the edging could get the idea on the foundation stitch that they needed to be doing on their pillowcase to get it prepared for being able to do the edging, crocheted edging on it, which we will be doing very soon. This was fun. See you soon. See you, Mary. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Beverly, so much for moderating for me today and dropping all those links. I really, really, really do appreciate that. And so thanks, everyone. Thank you, Susan. Toodles. I'm working on your FPP. Enjoy, Tony the Tiger. And I will see you all again very soon. Oh, a reminder. I will be going to an Amish, a 2-day Amish mini shop hop this week. So I will not be going live on Thursday because I won't be here and I don't know where I will have access at that time. So I just will not be going live on Thursday for my regular 3 o'clock. So for those of you that pop on usually for that, don't look for me. I will be in Ohio, Amish country, Holmes County, Ohio, and I will be staying at Homes with a View bed and breakfast there for 2 days while a friend, Debbie Williams, happens to be in our group, will be going with me, and we will be enjoying it's a mini Amish shop hop cuisine. They're also sharing refreshments and recipes along with what they will be showing at each shop. There's 6 shops in it. That's why it's called a mini one. So I'll be having a great time doing that. So thank you. This is the first time that I am getting away at all in, probably, let me think, I don't know, 6-7 years. So I'm going to enjoy the time, even though I will be calling my husband often. So, but anyhow, so thanks everybody. Take care. See you again soon. Have a great afternoon and day, evening, stitching and working on your projects. Thanks. Bye-bye.